This man here
Harry
is by name
Maguire.
Emmanuel,
Harry
and
Maguire.
this lady is by name
Pass that
Vivian.
ball now.
Emmanuel and Vivian have been
No.
dating for over 5 years already, and
Oga,
this
pass this ball.
relationship
Pass this ball.
seems to be very serious. It happens that
Go.
Vivian loves Emmanuel very much, and she has been
Oh, Harry
hoping that
Maguire.
one day
Release that ball.
Emmanuel
Release
would
that
come
ball.
and see her
Release that
parents
ball.
and ask for her hand in marriage. But on this fateful day, Vivian visited Emmanuel
Yes,
and
I'll help
wanted
you.
them to talk about it. But it happened that Emmanuel was busy
This is
watching
just
the
for
football
Chelsea
match
and Man U.
between Manchester United and Chelsea Football Club, and his attention was so taken away that he could not recognize that Vivian was even around. So Vivian decided to take the remote of the television and put it off so that she could at least get the attention and listening ear from her boyfriend Emmanuel. But Emmanuel was pleading, please, if you could just let me finish the first half, I promise we will talk better. But unfortunately, Vivian refused to accept what Emmanuel wants. And so she begins. You know, we have been dating for a very long time now, about 6 years already. So, when are you coming to see my parents as you have promised? Then Emmanuel said, don't worry, very soon before the end of this year, December, I will come. And Vivian said again, you have always been promising December and we never saw you. Can't you see me? I'm not getting younger anymore. We have been dating for about 6 years already, and I'm no longer getting younger. And as you can see, I'm even getting fat. One day, you may no longer find me pleasing in your eyes and may decide for another lady. But Emmanuel smiled and said, you know I like them fat, cause I actually want fat kids. Vivian was so pleased with that word and burst into laughter. While Emmanuel tried to kiss her forehead, he suddenly had obstruction in his airway and could no longer breathe. Then Vivian quickly headed for his medication, which Emmanuel uses to relieve himself each time he experiences attack. But while Vivian continues to search for the medication, she came across Emmanuel's phone ringing with a contact saved with my love and with a beautiful photo. She ignored and continued looking for the medication, and suddenly she found the medication in the bar. And while she was coming back, the phone was still ringing, and she wonders, who could this be? Saved with my love and with a beautiful photo. This is certainly not me. Could Emmanuel have another woman in his life and I do not know? Wonders shall never end. She became curious. She tries to pick the call, but unfortunately, the call ended. And so she started digging deep and suddenly found a text message which reads, my love, how are you doing today? I have been calling you, but you are not taking my call. You know our introduction is in few days time and we haven't bought some drinks. Please send me the money. I will be coming over this weekend. I have missed you, my love. Vivian looked at Emmanuel with surprise. Emmanuel was still on the chair, struggling to breathe. Vivian was so shocked and could not believe what was happening at that moment. She started sweating profusely at that moment. Suddenly, you know how it is. She looked at Emmanuel once again. Emmanuel was still waiting for the medication so that she could come back to life. Vivian could not believe her eyes. She put her two hands on her head and wondered, no, I can't believe this is happening to me. She became so angry and confused. She doesn't know what to do at that moment. And then she began to fan herself with her hand. The house suddenly became stuffy and she was no longer comfortable despite having an air condition in the house. She took up the phone once again to go through the message, but she could not bear it. Now she is very confused. She looked at the medication. What should I do? Should I give this medication to Emmanuel and still let him live? No, she said, no, I can't do this. Oh my God, I am finished, she said to herself. Emmanuel was still struggling to breathe on the chair and he was hoping that the medication comes soon. But Vivian refused and said, instead of me to give you this medication, you rather die. You are such come and have man. This medication yourself. You do not deserve to live. You are such a heartless human being. Come over here and help yourself. Come and have the medication, she said to Emmanuel. While Emmanuel was still on the chair struggling to breathe and hoping that this medication comes soon, or else he might give up the ghost. Emmanuel has a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and has been suffering from this condition for a very long time. Vivian has always been there for him. Despite this health condition, Vivian loved Emmanuel and was ready to settle down with him. Under the rain and in the sun, Vivian was always there for Emmanuel and has always done her best to keep Emmanuel happy and comfortable in life. Vivian was very angry and heartbroken. Oh, what a thin line between love and hatred. Suddenly, Vivian has come to hate Emmanuel, whom she loved so much and was ready to live with forever. Here is Emmanuel dying, and Vivian has what it takes to make Emmanuel live again, but Vivian has refused to do so, but instead decided to punish Emmanuel for the last time, even the more, and make sure he dies in a very horrible way. Vivian feels that such a person with a cruel heart does not deserve to live. Vivian made it worse by giving him a last punishment of his life. I don't know how you may find this story. What do you think? Is Vivian so wicked, or is Emmanuel more wicked? Between Emmanuel and Vivian, who do you think is worse? If you were in Vivian's shoe, what would you have done? Would you have forgiven Emmanuel, give him the medication, and let him live? Or you would have done the same thing? Many ladies have been hurt in similar ways. Do you have experience, or you know someone who has been to this situation? Please drop your comment and share this video. You may be helping someone you do not know. Thank you for watching.